Hello, everybody. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. I hope you're having a very, very good day on this Tuesday evening for West Ham. This club never fails to surprise me when it looks like it's all going well. Bosh, injuries galore. Before I get started, please do smash a like on the video. And this is a have your say. So if you want to come in, the link is in the chat. Come and have your say on matters at West Ham. I don't know where to start with it. I really don't. The Lucas Paqueta one has massively irritated me, and for the last few days, I've sort of looked at it and gone, "Who give the all clear for Lucas Paqueta to play on the game at the weekend?" For me, it all goes down to the medical staff. Now, if you've got a medical staff there and they've analysed this man and said, right, this man's fit to play, and they've given the all clear, it's on them at the end of the day. But you can't be blaming Moyes for their mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay blaming Moyes for style of play, subs. You can't blame him for the medical staff. But there is a major issue at West Ham now because it ain't just Paqueta out. You've got Mavropanos out. You've got Jared Bowen out. We've got quite a few players out now. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyone who puts comments in the chat, I'm going to read them out. You've got an hour with me, so it is what it is. Hi, James. You could not make this up. I know, mate. I know. When things are going well, and listen, the Moyes in, Moyes out, like whatever. Yeah. Currently, right now, we're doing all right. We're doing all right as a club. Yeah, you might not like the style of play, right? I understand it. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. But at the end of the day, right, we're doing okay. But we're not fighting relegation. We're doing well in Europe. Right, we're still in the FA Cup. So there is positives to take out of a lot of things. Do you know what I'm saying? But there comes a time where they're just so unfucking lucky. I'm going to say that. And it ain't good. James, am I right in thinking that if we were to loan out a homegrown player, the club they go to takes their homegrown status? I'm not too sure on that, mate. I really am not. I can't answer that question for you. Jack Sullivan, you better tell your old man, mate, to get his money out, because if he don't, right, people who've got their hate towards Moyes should be aiming it at Sullivan. And this is where I'm going to talk about Sullivan in a minute. Recruitment targets seem to have increased at least. Yeah, but until they're in the door, yeah, every single time West Ham get linked with players. Yeah, let's be honest. As the time goes by, after every sort of January window, yeah, we get linked with 50 players and we end up getting one. Do you know what I'm saying? This time, we need about 3 or 4, and it's urgent now. Do you know what I mean? Like, we haven't even got a front line there. The front line's completely gone. But it is what it is at the end of the day. I will get to Sullivan in a minute, though. It's all gone Pete Tong on the injury front. All the more reason to sign Granesi 17 goals, 11 games in the Bundesliga. I agree on that comment, yeah. I think it's like 17.5 release clause he's got. Go and get him. Just go and get the geezer. Like, if he's there, he's available, go and get him. And this is where West Ham have got to act like a big club. People say, oh, we haven't got the money. We're the 15th richest club on the planet. Do you know what I mean? Make things happen. Do you know what I mean? I look at Spurs, for instance. Yeah, Spurs go out, bang, bang. They know they need players. West Ham need players, and this is where it goes on to sort of Sullivan. Yeah, this is where I can never sort of back what he's doing, because there's always, I look at him currently right now, and I see a man there who's just content. He's just content with what's going on. Yeah, I'm saying, like, Bowen's out now, Antonio's out, Paqueta's out, Mavropanos is out. But how many more players have got to be out before West Ham start going, right, we need to sort of up our game a little bit? Do you know what I mean? Also, it gives a shout out to the youth. People keep crying out for the youth. Now there's no excuses now. Do you know what I mean? Callum Marshall, you know what I mean? And good luck to the youth tonight. 7 o'clock they're playing. Do you know what I mean? I hope they go well against Wickham. But for me, like, this is where the owner has to come into it. People need to stop thinking about Moyes and saying Moyes. David Sullivan, Tim Steiden, Daniel Kadinsky. That's what it should be now. In this month, it should be about them. Shouldn't be about any players, any manager, any backroom staff, anyone. It should be about the owners. It's as simple as that. Right, typical West Ham ambition. I agree, mate. I really do. Carlton trolls in the gaff. Welcome. 100% agree. There is no excuses not to splash out. Nah, no excuses at all. The problem is, Carlton, yeah, will they? Because I've got no faith. Do you know what I mean? And the problem is with other YT channels is they get their sources from a certain man who's like associated with David Sullivan. The sooner David Sullivan is out this door, West Ham go back to being a proper top end club with a top end owner who isn't going to be penny pinching every 5 seconds. That is when we'll be cooking, 100%. Gressy's injured though. He's out at AFCON. Don't see the point necessarily. We need someone now. I agree. The ambition always shows in January, and we'll be pushing for top 5. I agree on that. Injured at AFCON, so I've heard. Yeah, I know. Spurs sign a couple of 25 million players. I know, and this is the problem that I have with West Ham currently right now. Yeah, it's they don't act. Let's be honest. Yeah, forget the injuries for a second, and I will come back to them in a minute. We've all known we've needed a left winger. We've all known it. Like we've all known that Syed Ben Rama isn't good enough. People don't want Lucas Paqueta on the left. They want a fast, rapid player, and they want to push Lucas Paqueta either into central midfield or as a 10. We've all known it. So how comes it's now day 9 and there's still nothing happening? Yeah. What is the hesitation? You know what I mean? If you want to be the best you can be, you attack the market now and go, right, what players have got 6 months left on their contract that might be a cut price deal? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, Jonathan David is a player that I've mentioned on this channel for years. Yeah. I'm not too sure what the contract situation is with him. But if you can go and get someone of that ilk, yeah, who's basically got 6 months left, go and pay a cut price fee. Do you know what I mean? We need players. That's the problem. And we need players ready made. The only positive to the whole situation currently right now is that they miss Bristol City, they miss Sheffield United, they miss Nottingham Forest or Blackpool, and then they might miss one more game after that, and then they should all be back. They should all be back. If it's a month out, that's what it should be. And I think they might be back for the Manchester United game. Manchester United or Arsenal, like, correct me if I'm wrong. But stuff's got to change at the end of the day. Bring in Max Kilman, Granesi, Diaby. He's got release clause of 12 million. The problem is, this is where the issue is with Moyes in, out, etc. Because we don't know where he is. Yeah, no one can tell us like who, if he's here next year or if he's not. And this is the problem that you're always going to have. Now, whatever signings Moyes wants, will Moyes get, yeah, for the best progression of West Ham this season? I don't think he does get it. Do you know what I mean? I'll be very, very surprised if West Ham get one signing, if not two, at the very max. Yeah, because as I've always said, if you want to be that team and play that flamboyant football, etc., you need a top end owner. People don't like to hear about the owners, but it's funny how a few years ago, fucking people were marching about the owners, but no one mentions about the owners now, not one bit. So it's crazy. Yes, he's hard as nails. He'll be fine. This is Black Country Hammer. Hope you're well, mate. Agree, James. Soon as Sullivan's out, the better. No money. What a load of shite. 3 billionaires on the board. It's all bullshit. I couldn't agree more, mate. Couldn't agree more. Like, I'm not being funny. We're the 15th richest club on the planet, and we've got no money. And people say that we don't even own our stadium. We rent our stadium. Like, what more have you got to like see? Do you know what I'm saying? Now, there's having a problem with Moyes, right? And I don't like it, but I've got to accept that. But you should all have a problem with fucking Sullivan, not me. I slag Brady and Sullivan more than Moyes. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. He's the man who's pulling all the strings. Now, Tim Stein's there, don't get me wrong. And Tim Stein's going out and probably trying to find bargains. Yeah? But he can only find what Sullivan's prepared to pay. If Tim Stein has 10 targets and Sullivan's only going to go for one of them, yeah, and that one is the cheapest target out of a lot of them, that's where your problem lies. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we need to start acting like the 15th richest club on the planet. Hell, I agree. Now, to talk about the injuries, to go back to the injuries, people are saying about blaming Moyes for the injuries, yeah, of the players. Now, I'm gonna go through like 3 players. I'll start with Mavropanos. Mavropanos come in. He's done very well, very, very well. Like he's gone from being that bench player to probably being a first team player now. Like, excuse me, he's above Aguerd, in my opinion, right now. Yeah, I think he's more steady than Naya Aguerd. Yeah, even though Naya Aguerd hasn't played for a long, long time. But the injury for him was so unlucky at the weekend. Like he jumps up, he comes down, he lands, it's awkward, and he's out now. Um, the Jared Bowen one, he got kicked everywhere at the weekend, and the final kick sort of put the nail in it, really. And then obviously the Lucas Paqueta one, and the Lucas Paqueta one is a major issue for me because when you are sort of monitoring him, you must know whether this geezer's fit and raring to go to start. Yeah. And obviously Moyes just took advice from his medical team and turned around and said, right, this is right, what's going on? Is he fit? And let's be honest, if Lucas Paqueta wasn't fit, he wouldn't have played at the weekend. He really wouldn't have done. There's no way Dave Moyes would have picked him for the sake of picking him. Yeah. Because it's just, you wouldn't do it. You just wouldn't do it. You wouldn't risk a further injury unless he's been told. That's a different scenario altogether. So the medical staff need to be sacked. Simple as that. And they all need to be sacked, yeah, because they've fucking massively let us down. They all have. Let's get this. Come on, you Irons. Mate, I agree. We signed players, we've got money. Dwarf was hoping to pay pass him this month. He can't now. Totally agree. Totally agree. Now, this is where you're going to find out about our fucking owners. Yeah. Because 2 years ago, they done the same thing again. Yeah. They sat there, they did it, they dallied, they didn't do fuck all. And in the end, they done nothing. And let's be honest, one, maybe two players, maybe it cost us to get to the Europa League final, if not winning the final. Yeah. We'll see what our owners are all about. The problem with what you've got with David Sullivan that no one really mentions on anywhere else is he's content. He's happy where he is. Right? He ain't going to spend money if he hasn't got to spend any money at all. So for me, we will see David Sullivan, what you're really all about. Do you know what I'm saying? Steve, hope you're well, mate. I really do mean that. Moyes didn't rotate enough for me. He may have not helped some of the injuries. I don't know about that, mate, because the problem is, Hammerhead, if you don't play these players, people are going to moan. Yeah, maybe in certain games where, like, we could have got things done, yeah, and we could have got them off a bit earlier, maybe on that. But every game that West Ham play, our best players have got to play. Like, we have not got the luxury of taking out Lucas Paqueta and putting in a like-minded Lucas Paqueta. That's the problem, right? Our luck is we take Lucas Paqueta out, we bring in, excuse me, a Syed Ben Rama, a Pablo Fornells, and they're just not good enough. They're just not cutting it at the level that we want. So that's a major problem. Major problem. See, that is a shout. Can we get Bobby Firmino from Saudi Arabia? No, he's cheap. He can easily come back to the Premier League. He could do a job for West Ham. Yeah, whether or not he wants to come to West Ham is a different thing. But it's a shout. Like we need players, and we need to start acting fast. Yeah, because come like what is it? It's going to be a week, maybe 8 days to the Bristol City game. Yeah, it's going to be on TV because the BBC love to know, like, have us on TV. But West Ham have got to act fast and act quick. Alex, hope you're well, mate. After losing Lucas, we have no creativity in attack at all. We need to bring in some players in quickly. I agree. I said that to someone on Twitter, and they sort of looked at me and said, "Oh, how can West Ham's creativity go from that to that?" Quite simple, really. You got a very, very good player who's a very good creative player, and the rest of the players are crap. They can't create nothing, and that's the problem with our midfield. When you look at our midfield, who's really a creator? James Ward-Prowse. At points, yeah, but he's nowhere near on the level of Lucas Paqueta. Nowhere near. Sack everyone, but keeps him and the tea lady. Yeah, they can make the teas. I will say that. I can't believe how much money we have spent, and we've got no squad left after injuries. Yeah, but listen, I get that, Gary. Yeah, I really do. About people saying about how much money we've spent. Yeah, but we spent money on quality. Right? What would you rather have, quality or quantity? Quantity. That's the word, right? For me, I'd rather have quality. Yeah. When you look at the bench and you do go through that bench, there's only about 2 or 3 players who Moyes actually brought in. Abonner's been here a long time. Cresswell's been here a long time. Fab's been here a long time. Danny Ings is a failure. Yeah. And that's where Moyes will get the stick. Yeah. Because he is the failure of the lot of them. Maxwell Cornet. Could Moyes really judge bringing Maxwell Cornet in and him being the disaster that he's become? I don't think he really could. Right, that's not me defending Moyes. Before anyone says, "Oh, you Moyes lover" and all this shit, yeah, but it's fact. Moyes didn't know that he was going to get one of the rarest injuries and be out and just be a shadow of the player he is now that he was at Burnley. No one knew that. So, yeah, it's problems. But yet again, it all goes back to the ownership. And I've always said this about the ownership. People say about, oh, you're going on to the owners now. Step up. Step up. Like, you care about West Ham. Yeah, we're in our best moment. Again, 2 years on. And this feels to me like deja vu. It just feels like deja vu all over again. Feels like we're in a good moment. We're in the last 16 of the Europa League. I think we was in the FA Cup still at that time. Yeah. And we sat there and we do nothing again. So it's problems. It's major problems, man. I'm not blaming Moyes for Paqueta's injury. I just think it's a poor decision to pick him for Bristol, full stop. But I understand that. Don't get me wrong. I really do. But who else is there? There is no bench. And this is the thing I've been saying for quite a long time. When people say about we've got this amazing squad, I used to hear it quite a lot over the last few months, and I was like, we haven't, we really haven't. Like we've got an amazing starting 11. Yeah, I think our starting 11 needs one, maybe two players in it that could sort of generate it even more. I think if you took Thomas Suchek out and put in a box to box creative midfielder, I think we're good. And I do think the right back situation is a bit of a problem. Yeah, I think if you had a right back who is as good as Emerson on the right hand side as Emerson is on the left hand side, I think we'd be a very, very good attacking side. Yeah, because we'd have pace on both flanks. The problem is with that is we've got a decent sort of steady 11, but after that the bench is just non-existent, right? And the levels of drop from the players down. Like Said Ben Rama, yeah. Anyone who's followed this channel for a long, long time, yeah, and I will come to your comments in a minute. Anyone who's followed this channel for a long time, I've backed Benny up for a long, long time. I can't back him up no more because he's just not good enough. I've got to own that and say he's just not good enough. So you can't take a player out like Lucas Paqueta and bring in a Said Ben Rama, who Said Ben Rama is just not good enough at West Ham anymore. It's just not. So, it's one of them ones, really. Let's have a look. Let's see what you are saying in the chat. Jack Sullivan got unlucky with Cornet, had a ridiculous rare condition which seems to have worsened him. Yeah, I agree on that, mate. I really do. If you only play 14 players, the bench players get demotivated and rot. That's on Moyes. I don't know about that though, mate. Because let's be honest, these players have had chances. Right? I use Mavropanos as an example. Mavropanos was a bench player playing in the sort of Europa League. Yeah, he was never getting near the first team. But then obviously Aguerd had his moment where he was in and out. Yeah, and he was up and down. You just never know what you got. Mavropanos is a player that comes in there for me. But I think you go with Mavropanos and Zuma. Do you know what I'm saying? So I understand you're saying about them getting demotivated, but I think you've got at least two players on that bench whose contracts are running out. Fornells and Ben Johnson. That's not down to Moyes to sort the contracts out. That's down to the ownership and Tim to say, right, these players are here. Are you selling them? Are you keeping them? What can we offer them? Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know about demotivation. Do you know what I mean? And also, there has to be a bit of professional courtesy. Also, like you have to be professional. Like if you wait to seize your opportunity. Look at Devine. Devine's waited. He's played. Whether he's ready or not, I don't think he is, but it is what it is. Evening, James. We should be acting quick to get these players in and stop lumbering around. But obviously, we don't do the logical thing and we dither. Only one person for that, mate. Do you know what I mean? Because it ain't David Moyes dithering. Yeah, this is like if someone said to him, "Right, I can go and get you 3 players," I think he's going to take it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because he needs players. Troge, maybe Mbaba might get more and better chances with some other youth players around him. He's had the game time to even comment to say he's bad, my friend. I won't say he's bad, Hammerhead. I won't say he's bad, but is he ready? Is Devine ready? Like, is Devine going to score us goals to keep us where we are? I don't think he is, mate, if I'm being honest. No money. We did... what did we spend last summer? Rice transfer. That's it. So we has a Premiership cash gone plus sales last transfer window. What people keep forgetting is the Scamacca sale. That was £30 million. Where's that 30 million gone? Yeah, You get rid of Declan Rice for 105. You bring in Mohamed Kudus for 38. You bring in Alvarez for 35. Ward-Prowse for 30. And Mavropanos. Do the math. I think it's about 98 million, I think it is, if it works out. 98 to 100 million. Now, where's the Skamaka money? That's the problem. Let's get down to this. I keep seeing us linked with players that could really help us. Then they go to other clubs. Is some of them really cheap enough to make us go through this next stretch with almost no quality in the team? I actually think so, Alex, if you want me to be honest. Nothing will surprise me if we don't have no players in here until the back end of the window. Yeah. Because what West Ham will do is West Ham will leave it late, trying to attack the market right at the end. Yeah. And hopefully to get bargains. And that's the difference between having an owner who's on the ball, knows what they want, says, right, go and get this, 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 and this, get rid of these two, these three, whatever, and boost up the squad. We ain't doing it. We ain't doing it. It proved it 2 years ago, and the same thing's happening right now. 2 years on, we need players. We need a striker at this club. We need a left winger. Do you know what I mean? We need a covering defensive midfielder. We've got no covering defensive midfielder. If Alvarez goes down, we are knackered. Fair enough, we've got no attackers at the minute, but that's bad enough as it is. Moyes left Paqueta on the bench for the quarter-final against Liverpool, but he gets picked to start against Bristol City, even though he wasn't fit. Moyes idiot. I don't know about it though, Dan, because Moyes must have been told by the medical staff. Must have been. Right, you don't just Moyes hasn't gone in there and said, "Oh, is he fit?" Right? Oh yeah, you do. He's got to be taking advice from these medical people. Like David Moyes hasn't got a PhD in fucking medicine. I know that. Doesn't matter how many minutes 90% of our bench players get, they ain't good enough. Totally agree with that comment. Comment of the night from Happy Hammerette. Yeah. If these bench players are not good enough, what is the point in playing them? You know what I mean? You're basically throwing players in there just not good. Just not good at all. The bench players ain't good enough. If they was, we wouldn't be having this conversation now about the lack of depth in the squad. Totally agree with Eamon. Another comment tonight. Yeah. And the problem is these players ain't good enough. That's the fear. Yeah, and we're relying on these players. Now, I need to sit there and rely on Saïd Benrahma to turn it on. Yeah, and be the player that he once was, once upon a time. Ain't happening. Ain't happening. And I'm a hardened fan of Saïd Benrahma. But even I am not deluded. Even I can admit it ain't going to work. He's just not going to do it. I hope to be proved wrong, but it's what it is. Robert Smith, hope you're well, mate. Benny doesn't become bad overnight. His confidence is shot. Who's to blame for that? See, I agree with that comment slightly. Yeah, I do, right? Because I do think sometimes Moyes has treated him like a piece of shit. Don't get me wrong. But I also think Saïd Benrahma's game has gone down the pan also with him. He does the same shot. He cuts in. I look at Mohamed Kudus for an example. He cuts inside. He lets the shot go. Always on target. Benrahma, it's always the wrong decision. Or if he has a shot, it's in Rose Ed. Do you know what I'm saying? I think it's a bit of both. But I do think a move for Benny is the best move now. Because he ain't getting any better. And the problem is when you've got Lucas Paqueta on that left, and then you've got Saïd Benrahma on the left, there's a major drop. It's going to happen in any form. Players need to perform before getting new contract. Johnson seems to be up for it. Not Fornells. Agree on that comment. Fornells, no, doesn't really want to know. Hasn't done anything of any note to sort of warrant a new contract. And the only reason why West Ham are trying to give him a new contract is to sell him. Let's be honest. Yeah, I'm saying Fornells should have been sold in the summer, but West Ham yet again delay. Wear it down. And it also it's wearing the contract down because if they go and bring someone in, they've got to pay a transfer fee and they've got to pay the geezer's wages and all. But with this, he can just wear his original contract down. He ain't got to pay nothing. Goes back to the owner. It could actually work out well for us later in the season. I'm no fan of Moyes whatsoever, but he's exactly the type of manager who could grind out wins in this situation. Good comment. I agree on that. But we have been grinding out wins already this season, and people don't like it even when we're winning and we're grinding out wins. So I don't know how people are going to feel when we haven't got no players and we're grinding out results. If we grind out results, are people going to be moaning that the style of play is not good still? Of course they are. They ain't going to change. Simple as that. Sullivan's a Sullivan's a you know what? Yeah. Evening, Lee. Hope you're well, mate. I will say that. I'm not saying he's bad either. He's just had the game time or enough time with the first team. He needs to adapt. The only thing I will say with that, I think that you're referring to Syed Benrahma there, is when you look at Jared Bowen, Syed Benrahma, one's gone through the roof, the other one's still on the floor. It's still on the floor at the end of the day. And it's a shame, don't get me wrong with Benny. It really is. But I've just got to be honest. And it ain't just him. Fornells is another one. Now, Fornells was David Moyes' favourite player. He used to play in every single game. Like, there was not a game where Fornells didn't play or didn't even get mentioned. Now, Fornells plays at the weekend. Did Fornells do anything to justify playing for West Ham in the next game? Not really. Nothing. Nothing of any note. And none of them do. None of them from this bench look like... No one is calling for Danny Ings. No one is calling for Pablo Fornells to be starting. Like, these players are only in there because other players are not available. It's as simple as that. Which is a shame, because they should do. Over the years, our squad depth has always been poor. The 5 sub rule highlights it even more. Bob man, hope you're well, mate. Wherever you are, whoever you are the Bob man. And your point is absolutely valid. And I agree on that comment and all. Wheeler Dealer Sullivan. Always is. But no one mentions that. That's the problem that I have with the whole situation. If you're going to dig out Moyes and say like Moyes, Steiden, Bergwijn, fucking Clark, whoever, yeah, have a little go at the ownership, because the ownership are doing the same thing as what they done 2 years ago, yeah, and that's just, you don't do the same thing twice, surely not. Surely that's what Steiden's here for, to go out and get our targets. Why would it be Sullivan? The problem is with that is, as I said earlier, Lone Gunman, it's okay going out and getting the targets, but is Sullivan going to pay the money for these targets? Yeah, because listen, for how much I rate Steiden, he's not the money man. He's the talent man. Like Sullivan and Kadinsky are the money men. And the problem is what we've got with David Sullivan is he's cheap. He acts like a cheap wheeler dealer, market stall trader. Yeah, we all know now. Yeah, so there should be players coming in at the end of the week. Yeah, we've got Bristol City next Wednesday. Yeah, where are they? Let's not muck about. Like, bids should be going in for players, and that's the fear, right? I keep hearing a hell of a lot about links to players. Jack Clark, Bergwijn, Savio. Listen, the last Savio was a nightmare. If we get another Savio, it's a nightmare. God dear, that is definitely deja vu. But I'm hearing lots of links, but I'm not seeing no bids. I'm not seeing West Ham put a bid in for a player, yeah, and try to make something happen. It's all smoke with no fire at the end of the day. These players weren't good enough 2 seasons ago, let alone now. I actually agree, Glenn, on that. I really do. It will never change. The Russian midget's in charge of our finances. I wouldn't be surprised if I see him outside McDonald's with his begging bowl. Totally agree on that. Right. Ekatite from PSG or Nketiah from Arsenal, or both. I definitely think we need one. Definitely think we need one of these players. Do you know what I mean? Nketiah, I don't know, maybe. True, James. Probably shit medical staff, mate, but only lasting 10 minutes says something. It does say something there, but for me, that just says something on the medical staff. Yeah. Now, let's use this as an example. Right? They must have had a meeting on the Saturday and said, right, is he fit and raring to go? Yeah. They must have even given him a late fitness test on the Sunday before they declared him fit. To last 10 minutes is an embarrassment. Do you know what I mean? If he would have lasted 60 minutes and then gone down, I can understand it, but to last for 10 minutes, that's on them, mate. You know what I mean? You can dig out Moyes, but you've got to be real. Like, you've just got to be. It's on the medical staff there. Like, in any walk of life, you're taking advice from other people who know about the trade better than you. You're going to listen, regardless. Maybe Moyes is gullible. I don't know. We have another youth player on the books after this window. Casey, yeah, I like Casey, centre half, I think he is. That covers Coventry going out. Shame he won't get the minutes though. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think these next few games we're going to just have to dig in, grind it out, and somehow get the results. I don't want to hear no more is out style of play stuff. The next month won't be pretty. Just got to firm it. I agree. I agree. Listen, there is no style of play now. Do you know what I mean? And people say that to me. Yeah, they say, "Oh, do you like watching this?" No, I don't like watching this style of play. But I don't think the manager deserves to get the sack because of that style of play. Do you know what I mean? That's the one thing I will say. Do you know what I mean? He's done a lot of other good things other than the style of play. Now, if the style of play can improve, there may be, but I don't know. I just feel now you're going to see the owners now. That's the thing. And this is the moment. This is the moment. Like 2 years ago, like I say, it happened. It's happening again. What are they going to do about it? Apparently, Bergwijn deal is 95% done, James. Mate, listen, over the years, I remember Maxi Lopez being almost done, Carlos Bacca being almost done. Who was the other one? Jesse Lingard at one stage was almost done, and he went to Forest. Until it's 100% done, I don't listen to no one else's links, mate. I really don't. Yeah, if Bergwijn comes in, it's a good signing. It's what we need. We need pace. Yeah, but he can't do it on his own, and we're going to need more than just him. So let's hope he gets to 100%. I said when Sullivan took over, we're running to stand still. Black Country Hammer, I agree, mate. I agree. That is why I won't set foot in that ground. The moment I set foot in that ground again, I will probably break down. Yeah, I'll probably break down crying because I've been away from that ground for now 8 years now. Yeah, because I know what Sullivan's like. Yeah, he's scum. I'm going to be straight. He's scum, and people who back him up and say he's all right, I think fair play to you. But I don't deal with scumbags. Do you know what I mean? And he is a scumbag. Like West Ham have gone from Upton Park to Stratford for a purpose. Yeah, and he stands still. And when people say about look at the money we've spent, Kadinsky is the money man also. Like he hasn't just come in here for like just to earn a quick buck. He knows that West Ham's an earner. Do you know what I'm saying? And being the 15th richest club in the world, not even in the country, in the fucking world, got to be acting like it. I'm afraid. Facts, mate. I agree on that. What's this one? I don't see the Bergwijn deal happening, but it's great if it does. Let's hope so, mate. Let's hope so. Richard, hope you're well, mate. How have we spent all this money and we are in this situation with no squad? Players that want to leave and players that don't want to sign for us. The whole thing is a joke. It is a weird one, right? With that, I will be honest. It really is. But I do think, yet again, it goes back to the summer. But when we won the trophy and there was a decision to make, yeah, with Moyes, some people would have turned around and said, let Moyes go. He's done his time. And if Moyes would have went, fair enough. He's won us a trophy. He sails off into the sunset, probably goes and gets another job somewhere else, and we move on. The problem is the 1 year contract rolling is the reason why we're in this situation. Because we don't know what players are coming. We don't know what players are going to be Moyes' players. Are West Ham going to go out and spend £20 million on Jack Clark when it's not? It's a Moyes signing, and Moyes is only going to be here for maybe 5 months. You just don't know. Now, I always said that with regards to Moyes, yeah, the situation needs to be clarified now rather than later because you're going to continuously add this problem. Do you know what I'm saying? And are people going to sign for David Moyes knowing that he's going to leave in 5 months? That's also another thing. Because listen, Moyes has attracted some good players to this club, Jared Bowen being one of them. So you've got to give him some credit on that. Troves, yeah, but it looks good at the time. Hindsight, yeah. Sullivan pulls the strings for fuck's sake. He always has, mate. Fucking always has. I'm not a fan of Moyes, but he has got us into a good spot right now. I think that is, and the ownership is going to mess it up and ruin our chances at another year of European ball next season. Sunderland has to go. I agree, mate. The problem is, it will all go back to David Moyes if it goes wrong. It won't. Nothing will be mentioned of the man upstairs sitting there doing nothing. And listen, if we sign one player this window, is one player enough? I don't think it is. Yeah, I think we need more than one. I think with the situation we're in, if West Ham are going to attack the Europa League, they've got to attack it now. Yeah, it's time to attack it. But nothing will get mentioned on that because it will go back to Moyes. Now, listen, I will say something on Moyes. He's not perfect. Yeah, he's lucky to still be in the job. I've always said that, and he's blagged it for a good while. But he's got us in this situation where at least we're not fighting relegation. That is a plus. Now, if nothing happens and Moyes has to deal with the cards he's got, then who do you blame there? You can't blame David Moyes for no help. You have to look at the man upstairs at the end of the day. What we got here? Yeah, let's get this one. Jack, hope you're well, man. I understand people shouting for the youth, but the gap in level between the Prem and the level they are at is so big. They need loans. I agree. I agree. I think he proved it the other day with Devine, if I'm being honest. Like, and I want Devine to do well at West Ham. I really do. Like, really want him to do well because I think he could be another Mikel Antonio, like younger, fitter, fresher, someone who could be that man. But he's just not ready. You just got to be honest. He's just not ready. And it's no like, listen, you can give him game time, but if he's not ready, you're literally forcing him then. And let's be honest, do you really want to force this lad? Yeah, to sort of come on, keep going, if it ain't working. I think a loan in a League One side like a Charlton, Peterborough would be a good loan for him. Somewhere where he can just develop his game, score loads of goals, and learn his trade basically at the end of the day. But I agree with that comment about the youth. I will say that. Someone has fucked up for sure. Happy and rare. All I'm saying is, if I was the manager, I would have rested Paqueta versus Bristol. Easy said than done now, though, mate. Because let's be honest, like I say, who else we got? Same as me, James. I refuse to. Yeah. What we got? Let's see if I've got any good ones here. I hate the way we are run as a club. The problem is the way we're run. This is my argument that I always say with the way we're run. When you look at Newcastle under Mike Ashley, they was never going to do anything. Yeah. This is where David Moyes. This is where I will back Moyes to a point. Yeah. I will do. Because he's overdone like the most unrealist things at West Ham that West Ham have done under the ownership of David Sullivan. All day long. All day long. No other manager could have done that. Right. Or maybe they could have done that. But to a point. Yeah. Now look at us right now. Like we're in a comfortable position. We really are. But like Sullivan doesn't want comfortable. He's content. That's the problem. And when you've got a content owner, yeah, they ain't going to put their hand in their pocket. If I own a club, that club's doing well, and they're six, and they're in Europe, and they're in the FA Cup, and everything's going well, and we've got no fear of anything, why would you want to invest loads of money into something? You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it because you go, you know what? I'm happy as we are. We ain't really got to spend a lot. Simple as that. I see teams like Spurs who fucking hate Spurs, but bang, they're out there. I want him, want him, want him. You know what I mean? With Moyes, different story. If Bergwijn comes, I hope it's a loan with an option to buy. See, Lingo got baited on Twitter today. And it wouldn't surprise me if he gets linked again. Really wouldn't for about the 15th time. Let's get down to this. Scott Bernard, hope you're well, mate. One player in Gabriel Sorrell from Norwich is definitely a Premier League standards. He's what we need. There's a few players at Norwich. Jonathan Rose, another player who I like. I like that kid. I think he's an extremely good winger. 20 years old. I think he scored like 11 goals this season in the Championship, which is pretty good going. West Ham might need to go into that sort of Championship market just to get them out of trouble, so to speak. But it all depends on the ownership. At least Mike Ashley never changed Newcastle. Extra interest on the loan agreement. Yeah. Troj, it's on Wickham, mate. I follow £10 to watch that game. Well, mate, madness. If they're going to get rid of Moyes, then you can't give him any money to waste. Let's just hope our players get fit for the start of the Europa Cup. I agree on that. But then there's your problem, though, Rich. You've got a manager who's got us into a situation. You've got people complaining about the style of play. He might need players, and his hands have been tied because he can't get no players. So he's got to use players who ain't good enough. It ain't going to work, is it? That's the only problem. What's this one? Is there any chance we can get a bent medical for Cornet? Yeah, I know, mate. I know. I will try and I will get to Dan's comment, but I can't read it for some reason. There you go. Sullivan probably thinking to himself, I've got West Ham out of debt. What more do you fans want me to spend on this club? That's the problem. That is the problem. And that is the major problem. But no one really mentions that anywhere else. No one looks at Sullivan and says, well, time to pull your finger out, mate. You know what I mean? And people keep saying about Steiden, and I get it with Steiden. Yeah. And I hope Steiden goes out and finds some absolute gems. I really do. But he can only find what someone's willing to pay. And if Sullivan's not prepared to pay, then we're going to be in the same situation. I will say that. Right, I'm going to wrap that up there, people. I've done 40 minutes. I thought I'll give you a chance to have your say on it. Tell me what you think. For me, I think we're in a bit of shit. If I'm being honest, I'm not going to lie. And I look at this ownership now and say, right, step up. This is your time now to say, do you really care about West Ham United Football Club? Now, Sullivan is the one for me who has to sort of prove something. Kadinsky, I think Kadinsky is the money man of the situation. I've never seen West Ham spend this amount of money since Kadinsky's been in. Yeah. And I know FFP is a major thing with West Ham, but you've also got to fucking make sure, yeah, you get some of these players at the door and get fresh in. Now, if Ben Rama is a player that can attract you 20, 25 million, let him go. Get him out the door. There's no, it's not a problem. Do you know what I'm saying? I will say that. A good drive now. So listening only. Make sure you like each one of his chat. It goes a long way. Yeah, smash a like on the video. It goes a long way. It really helps us out. And I'm going to leave it there. But keep the faith, people. Over to the ownership now. We will see what they come up with over the next few days. If no players are in for the Bristol City game, and Moyes has to go out with a makeshift side because the owner doesn't fancy spending any money or putting his hand in his pocket for any loans, so to speak. You need to start having a look at the owners, people. Do you know what I mean? Moyes is a problem on the pitch. Off the pitch, there's the other man upstairs. Until he goes out the door, down the road, and straight down the A13 and as far away from East London as possible, and we get an owner in who will not have no leaks, anything. That is when West Ham go from there straight up. Anyway, from me to you, take care of yourselves, and above all else, each other. Bye.